Mma the Survivor! Mma stood outside in the rain, her knees pressed into the wet, muddy ground. Her uncle's voice rang in her ears. You will sleep outside today, useless girl. She didn't cry anymore. Tears were wasted on people who didn't care. She hugged herself, shivering as lightning cracked across the sky. Mma was 10 years old when her parents died in a car accident. Her father's younger brother, Uncle Igwe, took her in, but not out of kindness. His wife, Auntie Ogechi, treated Mma like a servant. She fetched water before dawn, washed clothes, and cooked food she wasn't allowed to eat. If she made a mistake, a slap or a beating followed. School was no escape. The girls there laughed at her old, oversized uniform. Chuka, the biggest bully, called her Mma the Beggar. When she tried to sit on the bench, he would shove her off. The teachers turned a blind eye. One day, Mma returned from school and saw Auntie Ogechi eating meat stew. The aroma filled the air, making her stomach cry louder than her heart. Mma swallowed hard and whispered, Auntie, please, can I have some? Auntie Ogechi's eyes darkened. So, you have grown wings, eh? She grabbed a wooden spoon and struck Mma's back. The pain shot through her, but she didn't scream. She had learned that silence was her shield. That night, while lying on the cold floor, Mma whispered to herself, one day, I will leave this place. The change begins. Things took a turn when the school's new headmaster arrived. Mr. Okafor was a kind man who believed every child deserved a chance. One afternoon he saw Chuka push Mma into the dirt. Young man, his voice boomed. Come here. Chuka froze. The whole school went silent. That day Chuka was punished, and Mma was called into Mr. Okafor's office. Why do you always look so sad? He asked gently. Mma hesitated, then told him everything. Her uncle, the beatings, the hunger. Mr. Okafor listened, truly listened. The next day, he visited Uncle Igwe's house. This girl is not your slave, he said firmly. If I hear that she is mistreated again, the authorities will hear of it. Uncle Igwe and Auntie Ogechi nodded, pretending to care. But that night, Mma felt something shift. For the first time in years, they left her alone. A new beginning. Mr. Okafor got Mma a scholarship. She received new clothes and a warm meal every day. Slowly, she started to smile again. Years passed, and Mma grew into a brilliant young woman. She graduated top of her class and earned a scholarship to study nursing. When she returned home years later, it wasn't as an orphan in rags. It was as Nurse Mma, the girl who survived. At the hospital where she worked, a familiar face walked in one day. Auntie Ogechi, now old and frail, gasped when she saw her. Mma, is that you? She whispered. Mma smiled. Yes, Auntie. Let me take care of you. And in that moment she realized she had won, not by revenge but by rising above the pain.